Life Eternal, Part 3. Try this: I am of the noble God mind, and see it open the windows of heaven, and let it pour out such a blessing that it fills completely every avenue of expression. All those who are faithful need say, God, I am, the knowing principle of all things. This opens the eye to the universal abundance that never fails. Try it, knowing positively that you must succeed, as Elijah did. Hold out the cup until it is filled to running over. Never doubt the capacity of the one mind. It is always ready to bring forth these wonders as humanity aligns itself with God-mind. As such, humanity has been traced with sufficient evidence to satisfy scientists for at least 1,000,000 years. But let us see that this period is but an established minimum, for man goes back to an antiquity far beyond all human understanding. You can readily see that you are capable of extending your vision with the inclusion of God-mind, or the one mind, and how readily you are able to attach your thinking process to divine mind by declaring, God, I am divine mind. Then, knowing definitely that your statement is true and in full accord with divine law and principle. In this way you are fully aware that heaven is all around you. Now is the opportune time to know that all are as free to accomplish this as you are. Now realize that matter was never conceived until thought set it up as a reality. Remember that matter never smiles, neither does it have any power or energy to rule or master itself. It is also devoid of instinct or volition of its own. It is foreign to all other substance. The bird actually sees its destination of migration and thus does not need an instrument to guide it. That instrument is right within those tiny brain cells. How much greater can the same instrument guide you? For it is right within your brain cells, and mind is in direct control of mind action. The bird, although it flies over 1,000 miles of open water, never loses its direction. Man has the same sense of seeing, but he has lost the ability by putting it out of his thought structure. Nothing is ever lost from divine mind. This is the very reason that it belongs to man, for man is as divine as mind. Thus he will never deviate from truth or be at a loss to accomplish all things when he again joins with divine mind. The animal has never lost instinct and intuition for the very reason that it is incapable of building an adverse thought structure. When a dog is set upon the trail of a man or beast, he is incapable of thinking, can I do this? Consequently, he goes forward and follows that trail until something happens that obliterates the scent or the goal is reached. Man is far more capable than the animals or the birds, yet he permits himself to sink lower than the animal. With the true perception of man's fully equipped makeup and his full understanding of his complete inclusion within God or divine mind, man is readily capable of moving from position to position with unbounded velocity. His brain is now fully equipped with true mind, and as he cooperates with true mind, as all-seeing and all-knowing, he scales every height instantly and perfectly. There are no wanderings. The path is clear. The evidence is revealed with certainty and sureness. You can put out your hand and feel God. Put your hand on your own form, and you both see and feel God. As you may have passed 100 or 1,000 people during the day in going about your affairs, you have seen God 100 or 1,000 times. This may be repeated each day. Keep God close to you by seeing every living form as God. Then God will be so close to you that you will never again closet God in some far-off celestial realm or temple, and you will find the temple not made with hands. You will also find that your body is the first and greatest temple ever built, and that it is the only temple wherein God abides. Then see the conquering Christ and God-man within this temple. This is the very life that maintains your body. Take God away or separate one from the other, and your body would die. Man has built all of the great temples that have ever existed or do exist upon the earth, but he has never duplicated this great body temple. It is not only the greatest laboratory ever built, it also has the power of duplicating itself. Man has defiled this body temple to the utmost, even to the place where he is obliged to lay it down in so-called death. Yet it rises again, triumphant. Man, under limitation, is unable to build a human eye. But let man throw off every limitation, and he is able to build or renew an eye or any part of the human body, even to overcoming death. There is a divine intelligence and principle, but it was never set up by one being or one man. It was set up by a great civilization of hundreds of millions of people. This thought was set up so dynamically that it saturated every atom of the entire universe, as well as every atom of the human body. Also, with a directing influence upon all things. It was also set up with such power that it became a directing force of mind action, where nothing changes. Thus it impressed its power upon every cell of the human form. And the light which denotes this divine intelligence was centered in the first cell, to the extent that divinity has been passed on from generation to generation for billions of years without a change in the real divine image of each unit of humanity. It will go on unchanged for 100 billion years as it is established as immutable law. And an established law in the cosmos is unchangeable. Law should be Lord, as there is but one law, one Lord of all, established mind action. Man is the Lord in full control of divine law. Out of this great action came millions of years of peace and thorough contentment. Each one was the conquering Christ, king of his own domain, yet a willing helper and worker, with no thought of self or selfish ends in that which was the good of all. As an abundance of all things were there for all to use. Then groups claiming free will of thought and action began withdrawing into themselves. They longed for a change. They wanted to know of material things and to think of themselves rather than for the entire group. Thus larger numbers withdrew from the main household, as it was called at that time. Finally, the groups of dissenters combined and grew to the extent that their thoughts became chaotic, until the natural elements were thrown into chaos, and a great eruption took place within the sun, which lasted for at least 1 million years. I will continue with part 4. Be sure to listen to it.